I feel like I've said this before, but yeah, RG has done it again. They've set the bar higher, coming from the OG Azoth, and took it to another level with the RG Azoth Extreme. This is undoubtedly the most premium mechanical keyboard RG has ever produced. Like the OG Azoth, this is also not just for gamers, but also tailored for the general mechanical keyboard enthusiast with the community feedback in mind. The RG Azoth Extreme features solid build quality with an all-aluminum alloy chassis with intricate details all around, including a metal frame with bladed patterns, step CNC details, chamfered edges, and curved corners for an ultimate premium aesthetic while maintaining the RG Azoth flair. Pretty much all our gripes from the OG Azoth have been improved, from the proper layout of the function rows to the upgraded glass and now full curved touchscreen display to the overall sound and typing experience with adjustable gasket mount design and a carbon fiber positioning plate. Not to mention the bump in the polling rate frequency, now to a whopping 8000 Hz wirelessly. ROG is also one of the few brands that I trust when it comes to wireless stability with their SpeedNova technology, and this one also supports tri-mode connectivity. Did I mention a full-colored OLED touchscreen display? I think I did. But yeah, nothing better than a keyboard with a winking Sana, right? Well, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. As always, honest disclaimer, this video is not paid, but ROG Philippines did provide an early review sample of the ROG Azoth Extreme, and I also get to keep it with a customized TechBureau nameplate. I just want to be as transparent as I can. However, believe it or not, I'm still going to give you my unbiased thoughts about this keyboard, and ROG will not be allowed to review this video prior to release. With that said, I'll save the unboxing experience for the latter part of the video so we can jump straight ahead to the things that ROG has improved from the OG Azoth. Probably the most notable improvement that I immediately noticed is that the display is now protected with glass compared to the acrylic plastic of the OG Azoth, which is extremely easy to scratch. Like, simply wiping it off using a microfiber causes hairline scratches, which is quite frustrating. Now, especially with the addition of the touchscreen function, it's more resistant to scratches. Speaking of touchscreen, yeah, this display now has a touchscreen capabilities, allowing you to quickly swipe left and right and up and down to change features and switch between built-in animations. We'll dive deeper into these features later when we talk about the software. Aside from that, you can also double tap to show or hide all the icons so that you can have full attention to your animated GIF. Speaking of animated GIFs, with a full-colored OLED display, showcasing animated GIFs here is absolutely amazing. It's smooth and vibrant, and most importantly, it supports a wide range of animated GIFs with almost perfect reproduction. Now, the display's aspect ratio has been changed from the rectangle shape of the OG Azoth to a more traditional wide 1.47-inch display. This serves two purposes in my opinion. It provides space for a standard function rows layout, while also showing animated GIFs better compared to a wider aspect ratio, and as you can tell, the bezels are now significantly thinner. The three-way control knob still serves the same purpose, allowing you to change modes between volume, multimedia, lighting and OLED brightness, lighting effects, and custom functions. Again, this is the most notable upgraded feature in my honest opinion, and there are still a lot of new and improved features that we'll tackle as we go around this keyboard. So let's do just that. Let's do a quick parts overview. Looking in front, as you can tell, the height is almost identical between these two, with the same location of the RG logo on the left side. However, I would have to say that the height of the high-profile case design of the Azoth Extreme does a better job of hiding the switches entirely. Flipping it on the right side, they still share the same design idea, with the Azoth Extreme having a more premium look thanks to its all-aluminum alloy and metal frame construction compared to the aluminum and plastic construction of the OG Azoth. Same with the other side, they share the same three-way control knob, again with a more robust design and construction on the Azoth Extreme. At the back, while they share the same switch and port locations, the design is completely different, with the more premium look of the metal frame with a bladed pattern on the Azoth Extreme. We also have a plastic part here with the Republic of Gamers logo that actually serves as a pass-through for the wireless frequency that otherwise will be hindered by the all-aluminum alloy construction. The bottom is also quite different. Instead of a plastic flip-out stand, we have a more premium-looking magnetic stand in two different sizes. But to be honest with you, I prefer the built-in stand for quicker height adjustment rather than fiddling around with removable stuff that might get lost at some point. We also have 4 subtle rubber feet here. Aside from that, the Azoth Extreme also has the same bladed pattern all around and a very good idea when it comes to the badge or nameplate. Not because they gave me a customized nameplate with my logo on it, but because of its magnetic feature that perfectly hides the 2.4 GHz dongle and the adjustable gasket mount switch. Speaking of the adjustable gasket mount, we do have two options here, soft and hard. We'll find out how this feature works on a separate teardown video, but essentially, The soft mode offers a more flexible typing experience, good for comfort, while the hard mode offers firm keystrokes ideal for gaming. This is by far the most unique casket mount design that I've ever experienced on a gaming keyboard. By the way, make sure to subscribe if you're interested in the dedicated teardown video. Now, in terms of build quality, there's no denying the fact that the Azoth Extreme is the clear winner here, with a solid construction weighing around 1.5 kilograms. Dropping this on your desk will definitely cause some damage. Now, going back up top, we now have a proper exploded 75% layout with some nav cluster keys, dedicated arrow keys, and now a properly spaced function rows. The keycaps font is, well, still with the ROG Gamery font with sub-legends on the side. As for the keycaps, depending on your region, there are two options: ROG UV coated ABS keycaps, and what we have here, ROG PBT double shot keycaps. The latter, of course, in my opinion, is better. It feels better with the rough texture and will not shine easily over time. The legends are also essentially permanent thanks to the double shot material. I believe it is also thicker than ABS with a thickness of around 1.3 mm. The keycap's height is also shorter for better stability and a more comfortable typing experience. In terms of the switches, what I have here, at least for this part of the video, is the ROG NX Storm, which is one of the clicky variants of the ROG NX series switches. It features a smooth palm material for the stem with a wall design to keep dust away from the internals and has some pre-applied lubricant. It also has polycarbonate housings for both the top and bottom and offers a crispy, clicky, and clacky sound signature. However, since I don't prefer clicky switches, I requested to have mine swapped with an ROG NX Snow, which is currently my favorite ROG switch. This one is linear with the same palm material for the stem, also with pre-applied lubricant and wall design, and uses palm as well for the bottom housing with polycarbonate top housing. With palm material on both the stem and bottom housing, partnered with a stable wall design and pre-applied lubricant, the ROG NX switch is arguably the smoothest standard Cherry MX style switch from ROG. Not to mention, offers a thocky sound signature. Now, the Azoth Extreme also has a swappable switches, albeit north-facing, and as per testing, it does interfere with Cherry profile keycaps. As for the stabilizers, it still has the proprietary ROG stabilizer design, which in theory keeps the original feel of the switch. It sounds and feels decent in my opinion, and is also prelooped out of the factory. But if you don't like it, this keyboard also supports both plate mount and screw-in stabilizers, which is awesome. It also has additional sound dampening material underneath the spacebar to provide better acoustics. And before we move on, here's a quick sound test for you guys. Now, before we take a look at the software and see what customization options we have for the OLED display, let's discuss the performance first. As I alluded to earlier, ROG is one of the few brands that I trust when it comes to wireless stability with their SpeedNova wireless technology. I never encountered any issues with their modern gaming peripherals from the OG Azoth, ROG Harp Ace, ROG Keras 2 Ace, and now the ROG Azoth Extreme, all of which uses the ROG SpeedNova wireless technology that offers near zero latency, reliable connection stability, even with multiple RF signals around, and optimized power efficiency. I mean, I have no idea exactly how much battery capacity it has, but it can last up to 1,600 plus hours with RGB and OLED off, which is around 2 months, up to 10 days with OLED on, and up to 4 days with everything turned on. That is outstanding in my opinion. Personally, I'll go with the middle, with RGB turned off, but with OLED on, so that Sana will keep winking 24/7, or Mina mesmerizing me with her gentle stare, or Chaeyoung blowing me a kiss. Wireless stability-wise, with my other wireless peripherals, I have to make sure that I use a cable extender, or even have to reduce wireless devices around. But with the Azoth Extreme, I can even plug the dongle into my RG6 OLED monitor's USB port, and I'm pretty much golden. I never encountered any stability issues or noticed any perceivable latency. Speaking of the dongle, I also appreciate that with the RG polling rate booster, I can take advantage of the 8000Hz polling rate on both wired and wireless modes, which is absolutely mind-blowing for a mechanical keyboard. I have no idea how it significantly affects the performance though, compared to how you will feel it on a gaming mouse, but it definitely won't hurt to know it has that speed. I also appreciate the ROG Omni receiver, allowing you to use a single dongle for two supported devices. It saves you a USB port without any compromises. I know. Up to this point, everything I mentioned is all quite positive, right? Well, that's just the reality about this keyboard, which aligns almost perfectly with my preference. The only thing that bothers me here is that they didn't include the current meta for gaming keyboards, which is the Hall effect, or the ability to customize the actuation point of the switch, especially since this has an extreme moniker. Also, considering the price of the OG Azoth, which is around $250 upon launch, the price of the RG Azoth Extreme is almost double that at around $495 or 28,880 Philippine pesos. But I'm getting ahead of myself, and before our verdict, let's take a look at the available customization options via the Armoury Crate. First of all, I have to say this. Time and time again, the Armoury Crate is arguably one of the most frustrating software I've ever experienced. I'm sorry RG, but that's just my honest opinion about it. It's buggy, sluggish, and more often than not, requires you to update before you can even access the options. Sometimes there's an option to update later, but most of the time, it's prerequisite. Imagine opening the software just to remap some keys or upload a new GIF and you're required to update. That possibly can cause some issues. But once it works, like I always say, it's also one of the most intuitive software with tons of customization options. Granted, they now have a separate software just for peripherals with the Armoury Crate gear, but not all ROG peripherals are supported just yet, including the ROG Azoth Extreme. With that out of the way, let's take a look inside the Armoury Crate. Inside the software, you can remap pretty much all the available keys except for the function key. You can remap a key to a different keyboard key or mouse function, use it to launch applications, open a website, and a lot of other things. You can also disable some key combinations if you want. Under the lighting tab, we have all the lighting effects that you can also adjust using the display and the built-in three-way knob. Under the control knob, you can choose the customize option to set your preference when it comes to the function of the control knob. You can then select that using the side button. We'll skip the OLED tab for now, and under the power tab, you can customize things like battery level alert and power saving options. Under the performance tab, you can toggle between 1000Hz and the faster 8000Hz polling rate. Take note though that if you have two devices connected to the same receiver, the polling rate will be limited to 1000Hz. Lastly, we have the firmware tab to check for firmware updates and the lighting sync control tab if you have other compatible devices on your setup. Now going back to the OLED tab, this is where you can take advantage of the full colored OLED display. You can adjust the brightness here, enable or disable some system notifications, and choose between different features such as date and time, hardware stats, and keystroke per second counter. More on that later. Under custom content, you can choose between image/animation or banner. You can even add some custom text if you want, but there's no denying the fact that the animation option is the way to go. There are two options here, the built-in animations, which are super quick to apply, and the custom image/animation, wherein you can upload your image or animated GIFs. As per my testing, it accepts almost all the animated GIFs that I tried to upload. The upload time varies depending on the complexity of the GIF. Sometimes it takes super long to upload, and sometimes it even times out, but eventually, it pushes through. Aside from that, you can also enable music sync, and it will not only show some equalizer, but also the title of the song, which is pretty cool. As for the other features, we have date and time with two available formats, hardware statistics where you can show stats like temperature, usage, and others for both the CPU and GPU, and the KPS or keystroke per second counter for music and rhythm gamers to check their KPS. Overall, one of the best displays on a mechanical keyboard, definitely. By the way, I invited two of my gaming buddies in our studio to experience the ROG Azoth Extreme, and they seemed pretty impressed by the responsiveness and overall feel of the keyboard, especially using it wirelessly with the 8000Hz polling rate. But they also took notice of how smooth the typing feel is, so yeah, that's the ROG NX Snow in action. I heard my good friend Rashid of Tito Gaming also got a review sample, so make sure to watch his video as well to get a different perspective. Now to complete the video, the ROG Azoth Extreme came in a premium packaging with an outer sleeve. Inside the flip-up box, we have the ROG Azoth Extreme itself, protected by soft cloth. Underneath it, we have a welcome envelope that houses a nameplate, a warranty card, a set of ROG stickers, a smooth cleaning cloth, and the user manual. Under this platform, we have all the accessories. Now, ROG decided to not include a switch lubricating kit anymore, which makes sense since the ROG NX switches are already good out of the box. Instead, we have a nice silicone wrist rest with an aluminum alloy base, an extra control keycap with 2 extra switches, a USB Type-A to Type-C adapter, the ROG polling rate booster, a metal switch puller, a braided cable, some foam stickers for compatibility with third-party stabilizers, a plastic keycap puller, and 2 sets of magnetic fit. Overall, to conclude, there are 2 notable things to consider when buying this keyboard: the lack of the modern Hall effect feature and the quite steep price tag of around $495 or 28,880 Philippine pesos. That's almost double the price of the OG Azoth. Are all the improved and additional features warrant that price? It's for you to decide because we do have different perspectives, preferences, and buying capacities. Aside from that, everything the ROG Azoth Extreme has to offer speaks premium and attention to detail. From all the improvements they've made from the OG Azoth to the well-appreciated additional features like adjustable gasket mount, 8000 Hz polling rate, full-color touchscreen OLED display, and an overall better sound and typing experience. Not to mention the super reliable wireless performance, outstanding battery life, and premium build quality. Again, this is by far the best mechanical keyboard ROG has to offer. And there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Huge thanks to ROG for sending this in. Again, this video is not paid. ROG doesn't have any input in this video, and you will see this at the same time as you do. I'll keep the links below updated, especially when this keyboard becomes available. Now, if you're looking for a good ergonomic wireless gaming mouse, watch my review of the ROG Keras 2 Ace, which by the way is now available locally here in the Philippines by clicking this. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you appreciate this video, and see you next time. Have a great day, guys. You're always awesome.